Hello, so today I'm going to be multitasking a little bit. One of the last videos I did, somebody was like fact-checking me and showing that I got a number wrong on something. They were actually correct. The thing is, again, if I actually try to do certain things for these videos that I want to do, I will never get them done. I would much rather be looking at the camera right now than removing glass from this, but I have an appointment at 3 o'clock, and I really want to get this point across while it's still fresh in my head. So, going over the topic of the iPhone 6 screen repair. What makes this different and what is the issue? So usually when these devices come out, the price for the screen from every Chinese vendor is just a ridiculous ripoff. It's like $200, $300, $400, and most small independent repair service centers don't buy it because, again, who the hell wants to pay, $400 or $500 to get their phone fixed? It just doesn't exist. I'm going to try to do this on my lap so I can look at the camera, which is a terrible idea. Anyway, so the whole idea is that we don't offer the service for the first few months. And Apple is usually, while being a ripoff, actually better priced than getting the screen from China. So we usually just refer customers to Apple. Again, they're fixing the phone for $200 or $250. The part itself is $250 to $300. Just have Apple do it. But one of the interesting things with the 6 is that they're actually offering the repair service for $109. No joke. You go to the Apple store with your broken iPhone 6, and they actually fix it for $109. So the question that's come up in the repair community is it okay for me to just take a customer's iPhone, take it to Apple, and charge them $150 or $200, $220 in order to, just get it fixed for them, because they're actually cheaper than the cost of the part? And my opinion of this is hell no. You see, if you're telling them that you're fixing it at the Apple store, and they're like, okay, just do it, I just don't feel like doing it. Like, if the customer lives above you, literally, your store is in the same building as the customer, they are just a lazy sod that refuses to walk 5 blocks over to the Apple store, by all means, take as much of their money as you want. Take $600 if you want. But the practical reality here, and don't ask me how I know. I just have this mind for the practical way the world works sometimes. The practical reality is that a lot of you people are not telling the customer that Apple fixes the phone for $109. You're just saying, I can fix it, just give me a day. And then you book your Genius Bar appointment, and then you go to Apple, and then they fix it for $109. And then you give it back to the customer for $200. Now, there are a couple of arguments here, and I'd like to go through them piece by piece to explain why I think they're crap. The first argument is that you're just acting as a value-added reseller or an outlet. For example, there are a lot of companies that outsource repairs. I'm a business that actually does outsource repairs for other businesses. So a lot of businesses send me board repair, and I give them a discount on the service, then they resell it to their customer. This is different from going to Apple and I'm not getting any of this done. Who am I kidding? I am not. Here's the difference when you do that. I am not going to deal with the end customer for $200 or $150 or whatever the wholesale cost that you pay for board repair is. I'm not dealing with end users for that price, you understand? I am not going to deal with them calling for status for that price. I'm not going to deal with giving them status updates for that price. I'm not going to deal with them going, there's a bit of lint over here that wasn't here when I originally brought. I'm not dealing with any of that crap for that price. For $325 or $425, absolutely. But for the wholesale customer price, no, none of that shit. That's why it's a wholesale customer price. That's why you are the outlet. The value-added service is that you are dealing with the customer. Now, the Apple Store, this is not a business-to-business kind of vendor. They're not a place that only deals with repair shops. In fact, they don't really even want to deal with repair shops. The Apple Store, fundamentally speaking, is meant for the consumer. It is meant for them to go in and get their phone fixed. If anything, the way the Apple Store is set up, it is set up more for the consumer than it is for us. There is truly no value that we are adding in most of those cases. Again, you may say, well, if they have a problem with their phone, I can do this to help them. Like, so can they, and they're not going to charge for it most of the time. I want you to think about, what value are you actually adding by simply bringing a customer's phone to the Apple Store? Again, the only way I can see this as acceptable is when you explain it to them, and they say, I am too lazy to walk to Apple. I only want to walk this far. I am happy to pay you $100 to go to the Apple Store for me. Again, in that case, charge $600 to fix their phone. Charge $2,000 to fix their phone, and I won't care. But when you're saying that, oh, it's okay to do it, or when people are like, oh yeah, you don't really even have to tell them, or you can just slip it in, like, you can try Apple. Because I know that that's what a lot of people are going to do. They're going to say, well, you could try Apple for the screen repair. And the customer goes, well, I think they're going to be too much. And then you go, oh, don't worry about it. I'll take care of it. You're not really telling that customer that they could go to Apple and get their phone fixed for $109. You know you're not. A lot of you know you're not. And again, the people of you that are actually saying Apple does it for $109, we will do it for $175, but we're just taking it to Apple for you, or we'll do it for $200 and we're just taking it to Apple for you. Again, this video is not for you. This video is for all of you people, and you know who you are, that are relying on the customer's ignorance of the fact that the manufacturer offers support for this at a cheaper price than you. And you're purposely ignoring that. And the other argument, you know, there's always somebody who's cheaper than you. There's always somebody who's cheaper than you. Don't other places do the job cheaper than you in your area? Well, yeah, but you're not using them. So let's say there's a repair shop next to you that charges $10 less for the repair of an iPhone 4. Let's say you charge $60 for the repair of an iPhone 4 screen, and that shop next to you charges $50 for a repair of an iPhone 4 screen. When you get an iPhone 4 in, you don't actually walk next door and give it to the guy so that you and have him do all the work so that you can take the $10. That just, again, it just doesn't, it just is, it's scummy. It's scummy shit that I just don't suggest you get involved in. It's like, this is literally the place that made the product, that has a store for supporting the product, and you are not telling them that they should go there when they're $100 cheaper than you, and the reason that they're $100 cheaper than you is because you are giving it to them and charging them $100 for the privilege. Again, you're just not offering anything on top of it. And the other thing I want to argue, think about your time, because again, your time is valuable. Your time is very valuable. And one of the things that I keep preaching on this channel, one of the things I keep preaching to all you people who do this, is to make sure that everything you're doing in this field has a connection to the next. Because you're not going to be doing this for the rest of your life. Truly, you're not going to be sitting here peeling little bits of fucking glass out of laptops for the rest of your life. This is not what you're going to be doing forever. This is not going to make money forever. This is cool now. I'm going to make $120 for 20 minutes of my time. In this case, 40 minutes, since I'm going to be distracted for the duration I'm doing this video. But the point is, this I truly cannot take anywhere. Board repair, this stuff, I can take that somewhere. I can continue learning in the same path of all the things that I'm doing right now. I can get the equipment to help me with everything that I'm doing right now, and I can keep following and following and following it. And someday a MacBook Pro is going to be $100, or Apple will go out of business, or laptops will be worthless. And I'll move on to I'll fix boards in the medical industry. I'll fix boards for, you know, machines in the construction industry. Whatever it is, I'll still have a job. Because I spent that time focusing on a skill set that is actually going to get me somewhere. The other reason I find this offensive actually has nothing to do with ripping off the customer. It has nothing to do with screwing over the customer. It has nothing to do with business practices at all. It has to do with the fact that you're actually putting time into something that is not building your skill set, that is not building your career towards that next level. Again, the stuff that I'm focusing on now is actually going to help me going forward. Not only does it help me make money in this career, but I guarantee it's going to help me make money in the next. Everything that I did in my last career actually helped me in this career. Everything I do in this career is going to help me with the next step. When you hide the fact from the customer that they can get this fixed at Apple, then you run over to Apple to have them fix the phone for you and charge your middleman fee, even if you are making like $500 a day off of this, even if you are making $500 a day in net profit off of doing this, how does that carry into another field? Tell me another field where you can make good money applying that same skill set of taking a device from a customer and then running to Apple to get it fixed. Tell me, what are you going to do? What sustainable skill set do you have? What can you put on a resume? And again, resume, I don't even mean just writing it down. Think about actually having to show this to somebody else. Because I strongly believe that social media is going to become the new resume, and that it's not really even going to be that you write out a resume and say where you went to school and say where you worked. It's going to be you show projects. You show the projects that you've been involved in over the course of your lifetime and what you've accomplished and what you've built on some platform where an employer can simply hit a button and see all of it come out. Because what I'm going to show is doing component level board repair in my early 20s. I'm going to show building a business that grosses more than $1 million a year in my mid 20s. I'm going to have something to show so that when I actually do hit that point where I do want to move on and do something else, I can say, here are all the things that I've accomplished. Here are all the things that I've done. And you're going to go, well, here's a video of me taking a phone from a customer and bringing it to Apple and then charging him money because he was too stupid to know that he could just go to Apple. Like, really, where do you think this is going to get you? How do you think this is going to help build your reputation? How do you think this is going to help build your career? How do you think this is going to help build your skill set? These are all things that you should be thinking about with every single endeavor, with every single service you add to your business, with every single thing that you do in life. You should be thinking about how it's building who you are and how it's helping you get to the next level. I think this doesn't help you at all. I think at best it's good to make quick money off of the laziest mofos in the world that you probably don't want as customers, or the ignorant people who really you should actually be helping them instead of just taking their money. Again, something I always say, how many people in this business, how many people in the world hate technicians, hate doctors, hate lawyers, hate mechanics, hate computer people, hate electronics people, because when they talk to us, they are in this defensive mindset because they just know they're going to get ripped off. How many people are used to being ripped off by technicians and mechanics and lawyers and doctors? How many people are used to it to the point where they tell everybody not to trust us? How many people don't trust us just because? Are you pissed off when you tell a customer their hard drive died 2 days after you fixed their screen? Are you pissed off when they don't believe you and they think you're just trying to milk them for more money? Do you know why they think that you're trying to milk them for more money? They think you're trying to milk them for more money because the last time they went to get their iPhone fixed, they went to a store that took it to Apple and had them do it and charged them $100 more. And the next day, the very next day, their best friend said, "I can't believe you paid that place $209 to fix your phone when Apple does it for $109. And that place may go, well, maybe they did something different. And then they figure out that you actually brought it to Apple. You are contributing. You are contributing to why people hate us. You are contributing to why consumers, why customers have no trust for anything that we have to say. You are contributing to every single piece of misery that I have to beat out of people before they become my clients. Every piece of doubt that I have to beat out of people before they become my clients. Every piece of mistrust is because of crap like this. And as long as you are putting that out into the world, I will disagree with you, and I'll think it's bullshit. And I'll say it on the internet.